right. I think that's it. The new body's ready for the transfer. How's the reassembly algorithm?
Done.
Well then, somebody just needs to go in there and disentangle the data. Ah, and here comes our expert.
Thank you for agreeing to this, 1K. Perhaps together we can right an old wrong. When I was lost in my own grief, I spent a lot of time thinking about Hypatia and Cerebi. How they found each other, how they lost each other, and how beautiful it would be if we could reunite them. For the longest time, it was only a daydream, but not anymore. In the myth of Orpheus, the ancient bard descends into the underworld to bring back his beloved wife, who died in a tragic accident. With the power of his music, he convinces Hades and Persephone to free her. But he is told that she must walk behind him, and he must not look back at her until they have left the underworld. And so, of course, in every version of the myth, he looks back. Because he doesn't trust the gods, or because he is an imperfect man, or because he simply forgets. And death is triumphant once again. We've accepted that triumph for a long time, because we had to, because what else could we do? But the world changes, and we are not the frightened, powerless creatures we once were. Perhaps it's time to say enough, and let Orpheus complete his ascent. You will have to collect all of Cerebi's data fragments so that we can reconstruct her personality. I'll monitor you from here, just like last time.
Good luck, kiddo.
It's a good day to play the Talos Principle 2 Orpheus Ascending, the DLC to the main game of the Talos Principle 2. Yeah, it's awesome to be in this game again. To play all of the DLCs. I'll see how long this DLC is, but looks like we only have maybe like 16 puzzles, seeing from the stars here. So we'll see if it takes us 1, 2, or 3 episodes. All right, but without further ado, I think we can just go to this terminal and then start the puzzles. Welcome to the internal messaging system version 4, 0.4 user Cerebi. You have 3 unread messages. Cannot access, not goodbye, cannot access. Okay, let's open not goodbye. From Hypatia. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm writing this. In all likelihood, you can't even read this, because so little of your consciousness is left and what's left of your battery is dying. They say it's impossible to recover you, and the backups were all destroyed. I wish we'd backed ourselves up in New Jerusalem before we left. The space was so limited, and we would have had to wait so long. Except, of course, it's nothing compared to the empty years that stretch before me now. I don't have the words to express what you mean to me. I tried to sum it all up, to say something elegant and beautiful and perfect, and I can't. Maybe it can't be said. Maybe it only exists as days and years lived together, a sequence of moments bound together like a string of lights, defying the darkness of the sky. I don't know. All I know is that this is not goodbye. It may be the end of you, of us, of who I was, but I will not say goodbye. Love you forever, Hypatia. Alright, so we'll be reading messages from Hypatia to the deceased Cerebi. Yeah, let's go to this section. Looks like we have 4 puzzles in here. So let's start with the first one. Oh, we have QR codes again. There is no greater joy than discovering something that you had never imagined. In that moment, you understand that the world is better than it seems. Okay. Well, yield. In the description of the DLC, it said that the focus of this DLC is on the laser puzzles. or those that well, the laser puzzles, but more difficult. Okay, so let's see. If I sever this connection, nothing happens, and I need a blue there. All right, so I think we can get a red, send this there to sever this one in here, and connect the blue. Yeah. Go. So, good. First puzzle. So we are collecting Sarabai fragments.
When I was born, the first thing I felt was that I was alone. Not that I was lonely, but that I was separate. Singular. There was the world, and there was myself, a contained entity. And this sense of separation, of a distinct self, was delightful. Individuality itself was a source of constant joy and wonder. What could be more incredible than to be able to say, I am?
We have the first fragment. Everything's looking good on our end.
Unknown error. Looks like we have Prometheus.
If you get stuck, I've inserted some code that might help you bypass a few puzzles. It's not the most elegant work I've ever done, but it'll do the job.
Alright. I don't think we'll be bypassing any puzzles. I think we'll try to complete all of them. Alright, number 2. Crossing the river. So we have a blue, and we have a connector that you cannot push through. We have a red here, another here, another there. Alright. Well, what we need to have is a connection through, which means this needs to be blocked. This needs to be blocked, and that needs to be blocked. From this, I can only block this one. And that one. Technically. But that doesn't do me any good. Let's start from the other side. From here, I can block itself. And I could block that as well. That as well. Yeah, I think I need to do that. No, I don't need that. Okay. I definitely need that. I need to pass that through. I can get a blue, Send it to there. Block this guy. And send it to there. So now I have this blockade. And if I connect this one to this one, this connection will not reach me, but this blue connection will. Yeah. Good.
As I grew, I realized that the more I developed this sense of self, the more enjoyable it became simply to exist. It wasn't selflessness that improved existence, but refinement of the self. When the ancients said that ego is something to set aside, they got it all wrong. Ego is something to nourish and shape. A work of art.
The reconstruction's working. Keep going, 1K.
Alright. Number 3, sequence. This opens this up. For this I need a red. Alright. I think I can do this, then this powers a red. Very easy.
My insights into the value of the self were genuine, I think. But of course, I was completely inexperienced. In fact, in many ways, I was like a human child. So I began to resent everything that intruded on that sense of self. My social obligations to the others, the leadership of Athena and Cornelius, even the obvious limitations imposed on us by our situation. Why did I have to exist in this particular historical moment, saddled with the task of reconstructing civilization?
Recover peace. An ethical philosophy of life, Felix Adler. User highlighted. It is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. The sense of interconnectedness with them stands out vividly by way of contrast at the very moment when our mortal connection with them is about to be dissolved. In the intertwining of our life with theirs, the living in the life that is in them is but a part of our living in the infinite manifold of the spiritual life. The thought of this, as apprehended, not in terms of knowledge, but in immediate experience, begets the peace that passeth understanding, and it is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. Recover God. Essays. First series, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thus are we put in training for a love which knows not sex, not person, nor partiality, but which seeks virtue and wisdom everywhere, to the end of increasing virtue and wisdom. We are by nature observers, and thereby learners. That is our permanent state, but we are often made to feel that our affections are but tents of a night. Though slowly and with pain the objects of the affections change, as the objects of thought do. There are moments when the affections rule and absorb the man, and make his happiness dependent on a person or persons. But in hell the mind is presently seen again, its overarching vault, bright with galaxies of immutable lights, and the warm loves and fears that swept over us as clouds must lose their finite character and blend with God, to attain their own perfection. Recover eternity. Eternity revealed. Theo Erkenwald. In what sense am I a Christian then, if I care so little for dogma? In the sense that in everything that I do and think, I follow the revelation of Jesus Christ, that the greatest of all things is love. Love is the nature of God, and so equally the nature of that which was created in his image. This I have learned through the revelation that is daily life, through toil and misery and strife and that infinite power which brings relief and joy. Thus I reject those who believe that the ordinary love of mortal beings is limited, and that it ends with death. Rather, it is through love that we perceive the immortality of the soul, for it reveals that eternity is conceivable to the human mind when it is filled with love. It is because we know that we can love another forever, that we know that we are the children of God. And recover pain. Archived emails. Username corrupted. I don't have much time left. I never thought it would end this way. Never thought I would die alone, sitting around in my apartment, wondering if things would have gone differently if we'd gotten that stupid grant. Mostly though, I just wonder why we're not together. I still don't understand. I don't know why you had so much pain inside you. I don't know why you let it infect everything we had. I don't know why you couldn't see my love for you. Why you twisted everything I said. I was angry and disappointed for so long, but now I just wish I could have found some way to make that pain go away. I would give anything for that. I wish you were here. And vastness. So we need a red connection to get another. Alright. So now we have to... Here we need to connect the red. To be able to get through. And in that, we will be able to send a blue. I think I can do it this way. I need something here. Right. like this. So we can get through, but once we are inside, we connect the blue instead. Okay.
With that focus on the self, also came an enormous and increasingly overwhelming fear of death. The pleasure of existence seemed almost erased by the possibility of its ending. If it was possible not to be, if the self had an ending, even in the distant future, then how could anything have meaning? I spent far too much time imagining that last moment, the moment just before I stopped existing. How could I possibly face that?
Still cannot access the other. So we have an oasis here. So let's go to number 5. Chain. Okay. For this we need to... Huh. Okay. Right. So this is connected through here, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to get these. So our 5th needs to be this one. This one needs to be the 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we go to this one. Yeah. So that it's equal in distance as this one, so that it interrupts here. Very nice mechanic.
Looking back, it's embarrassing how solipsistic I became. I really thought that I could construct my identity without any reference to the outside world. Like I could just will myself into existence. But it just didn't work. And it made me miserable. Everything felt hollow and meaningless, overshadowed by the idea of death. There was something I wasn't seeing, something I needed, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Something has gone wrong. We are fragmented. This is incorrect. Number 6, equilibrium. Alright. I do this, both of them have a far-long chain. So now we can connect them. Because then they meet in the middle. So the same as the previous puzzle, basically.
Everything changed when we started spending more time with each other. Do you remember that night when we found the old library in the Dead City? It was just after the stampede and we were all a bit shaken up. Byron read to us from one of the books, and later you and I started arguing about one of the poems. And your perspective was so different and interesting, and I just kept wanting to hear more.
What's this? There's a Fallout vault here. 404 not found. Vault not found. Nice Easter egg. Okay, let's go back. We can do number 7, which is in the far back. I wish to see more of the world's beauty, but there is something limited about this place. It is not enough. Another computer. Critical error, all systems compromised. Let's recover Everyday Sublime. The Everyday Sublime, A.D. Markham. Love must matter to the philosopher because it is at its core the one undisputed presence of the sublime in our lives. Even when it is veiled love, unrequited love, or entirely imagined love, it is like a vast monolith towering over us, humbling, uplifting, brightening. Those who deny its presence can be safely disregarded as fools. They know it is there. They are simply afraid. But equally, the philosopher must consider that in the great matters of history, love matters not one jot. The Nazarene commanded his followers to love their enemies. They did not, and wrote 1,000 books of excuses for this failure. Therein is revealed the purpose of the human struggle. Discovered confessions. Confessions. Penelope Meliopoulou. To me, the idea that my soul, my essence, could fall in love with another being and then maintain that love, unblemished for eternity, seems utterly impossible. My experience of love has been catastrophe, embarrassment, and disappointment. But this is precisely why I refuse to surrender, why I choose to believe, against all precedent, that I will find the one for me, and that our love will last forever. You can laugh at this absurd and contradictory belief, but it will not waver. Faith is not a matter of the past, of miracles witnessed and saints observed, but of the future that ought to be written. Alright, and Pickering manuscript. From William Blake. Seek love in the pity of others' woe, in the gentle relief of another's care, in the darkness of night and the winter's snow, and the naked and outcast seek love there. This is another chain, I presume. Okay. Okay, I have 4 inputs. I do that. I do this. Then it splits in the middle. But then I should need a 4 long. And here I should need a 3 long. But this is wrong. Okay. Now instead of that, I can just go to the end. Here. Okay, cool. So yeah, so we have something that starts here, but we need equilibrium, so we have a 4 long here as well, so that it reaches back there. Now we need a 5 long, but since this is only 2, we power this one. Okay. Not bad.
I never really understood the appeal of philosophers who tell us that everything is one. If everything is just a reflection of yourself, an endless hall of mirrors, there's nothing to connect with. And what I realized through our conversations is that everything beautiful happens in that space of connection between one person and another, and between people and the world. That gap between us is necessary. Because without it, without separation, there can be no transcendence.
Interesting thought. In order to transcend, you need to separate so that you are full with both experiences, I guess. Okay, so here we have a blue. So we're going to create a chain. Alright. I need to power up all 3. And both in here. To do this. So I can do a 4 long chain. And I can create a 4 long chain in here as well. Yes. But a little more atypically. So here we create a 4 long chain. And here, the 4 long chain starts here. Now it's balanced. Otherwise, without the inclusion of that one, we would only have a 3 long chain. Cool.
Once I understood that meaning comes from the interaction of the self with the world, I found it easier to be patient, to be kind. I reminded myself that other people are just like me, and nobody really knows exactly what they're doing. And the more I allowed myself to open up, the more interesting and complex our interactions became. And the more meaningful.
We have roughly 50% of Cerebai's personality matrix reconstructed.
Who'd have thought that 1K would have made such a good necromancer?
Yeah, we see that we have half of these completed. So, yeah, let's continue chronologically. 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't think I need them, but yeah, I'll just leave it there. What's up with this area? Looks like there's a tomb. What? What? Knock knock. Who there? 1K. 1K who? There's no punchline. That's my name. Who are you? Silly name. Nice to meet you, silly name. Would say if I could. What can I do to help you? Fix Cerebai, me fixed. Me back on beach, Cerebai back with Hypatia. We'll be back on your island soon. Good. Hey, what's the meaning of life again? Helping me. I'll get back to work. Finally. Awesome. Just the Somnodrome AI was here, or like the subconscious. Something in the distance. Sadly, I do not get that reference. I was coming back, man. All right. Let's do the puzzles then. Alright, 9. Causation nexus. So I need to get the box down in order for me to jump up there. Okay. Yeah, this is interesting. You can switch off to the red or to the blue, depending on which block, because it's strong enough to then send a signal to block the origin laser so it doesn't block itself again. Nice. Well, we need to activate the blue one. Now the red one. And now the blue one. And we're done.
It's funny, though, when I think about it, that I still didn't know what to call what I was experiencing. I guess love seemed like a term that only applied to our ancestors, with their hormones and instincts and strange fleshy organs. Surely we were too different to experience that. And the really funny thing is that I was thinking exactly like an ancient human child, pretending I was above it all.
Everything is wrong here. Someone is missing. Alright, number 10. Incarnation. Okay, so when this gate opens, it will keep itself open. But for that to happen, we need to send this laser to this. So we need to block this. So I need to get through. But to get through, I need to have a red open. And then open up a blue. So the thing blocking the red is this guy. If he connects here, he will be okay. But this will still block it, which means I need to block it from all the way here. Yeah. Now that it is blocked all the way here, and this is kept open, I still need a blue to be sent over there, which I can send through here, but then I need to block this. There we go. So now this is active and this is active as well. And once I come through, I should block this red, because I don't need this open anymore. This doesn't propagate nowhere. The blue will still be active, and when I pass through I will block this red to let that blue hit. Yeah. Okay. Now that this is done, I need to power up that blue again, or that red, which means I need to cut off power here. here as well. Okay. Awesome. So just body blocking things.
What I'd never considered was that stripped of biological necessity and physical need, as well as all the strange stigmas and taboos our ancestors associated with their bodies, love might be more pure, more powerful. That we can love with fewer distractions than they could. And so the experience is all the more overwhelming. I do think we should learn to simulate some of those biological processes. Would be fun.
Could be. Non-nubis solemn. 17 questions about reality, Cassius Green. Cicero correctly observed that we are not born for ourselves alone. Aristotle likewise pointed out that man is a social animal. Plato's Symposium depicts characters praising the spiritual and philosophical importance of love, with Socrates arguing for the more abstract notion of learning to love the form of beauty itself, which honestly seems a little onanistic if you ask me. Jesus placed love above all other considerations, demanding that people even love their enemies. But if we all agree that love is so important, why is love so rarely taken into consideration by the system we live in? It may seem like a naive question, but think about the sheer moral and intellectual weight behind the idea that love matters. Why is our reality so out of step with our philosophy? Cover Utopia. File 2 damage to recover. Alright, and the truth. The Blue Note, Bailey Steele. You wanna know the truth about love? Nobody knows what they're doing. It's all improv, man. It's 2 million years of people muddling through. Prophets and messiahs and philosophers declare that love is what it's all about, and we go, yeah, that's right. And then we try and we fail and we hurt each other and we try again and we have moments of something fucking transcendence, and then we think with the wrong organ and we make a mess of everything, and on it goes forever and ever. Amen. And you know the craziest part? You can go through all the shit that I did, end up with a body like an old rag and a brain full of holes, and still do your dying day. You'll go, yeah, it was love. Love for my family, my friends, my music, and even my fucking ex-wife. It was all about love, and every time I forgot that I fucked myself like a fucking moron. Yeah. It's all about love, man. Not everything is about love. It can just be passion, not love. Where's the voice of my creator? Where is the one that we became? Everything is shattered. Uriel is having a moment of crisis. Alright, 11. Breakthrough. Okay, so sending another blue. But this doesn't send anything. Okay, so we can receive, but we cannot send. We need to send a red through. But both of our connectors are here. Right. I can receive. I can send. There. Now we have a red. No, we don't send red there, we send it to there. And now, when we send it there, and there, will connect. Awesome.
When we started living together, I thought I'd figured it all out. Everything would be smooth sailing from now on. I still had so much to learn about love. Even for us, it's messy. You find someone who seems to be the perfect match for you, who seems necessary in your life. And then you realize all the ways in which you don't fit together at all. Because nothing in this world is perfect.
Yeah, nobody's perfect. Let's go back. There's nothing. Oh, it's right here. Pick it up. There we go. Okay, let's do number 12. Switchboard. Alright. We need this blue active. We need that blue active. And that red active. We have 2 connectors. And these go here. Where can we not have connection? We cannot have them in the corners. If we have something here, let's say a blue, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the other will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will still clash. I need to pass a blue up there, but I need to have a red over here. How do I do that? I need to have a blue switchboard. Like so. And I can have a red right over here, right? No, not there. There. I think I can do a blue there then, and then here, and then here. Yeah. So I'm making a connection, a safe connection for blue to go through by blocking this red one, overpowering this red one, and connecting this blue connection there as well, and bypassing this blockade with this red connection over there. Cool.
The ancients believed that love could be eternal. But I'll admit that sometimes it seemed impossible to continue. Sometimes I thought you were unfair or cruel. or just incomprehensible. I'm sure you thought the same about me. And I'm sure that sometimes you were right. No wonder all the ancient love songs repeat the same themes. Longing, happiness, regret, and forgiveness. I want you. I love you. I miss you. Forgive me.
That's harsh, man. Unknown error. Nope. Alright, that's our second death. Hopefully the last. Nothing there. So let's just go to the puzzles. I am only an echo of the one that was me, but I am comforted in knowing that something persists. Message 504 from Hypatia. I miss you. It's not that I need to be around you every minute of every day, but talking about our experiences together has become such an essential part of how I interact with the world that your absence is a huge void. I feel unbalanced and events seem less real when I haven't discussed them with you. Maybe that sounds clinical and selfish, but I'm trying to explain something that I felt incredibly strongly this last month. We're better together in a way that's more like multiplication than addition. It's not just you and me, it's us. When you get back, let's go. To reconnect. Howard Zand, E.M. Forster. It did not seem so difficult. She need trouble him with no gift of her own. He would only point out the salvation that was latent in his own soul, and in the soul of every man. Only connect. That was the whole of her sermon. Only connect the prose and the passion, and both will be exalted, and human love will be seen at its height. Live in fragments no longer. Only connect, and the beast and the monk, robbed of the isolation that is life to either, will die. Nor was the message difficult to give. It need not take the form of a good talking. By quiet indication, the bridge would be built and span their lives with beauty. But she failed. Carlyle. Death of Goethe. Thomas Carlyle. Precious is the new light of knowledge which our teacher conquers for us, yet small to the new light of love which also we derive from him. The most important element of any man's performance is the life he has accomplished, under the intellectual union of man and man, which works by precept, lies a holier union of affection, working by example, the influences of which latter, mystic, deep-reaching, all-embracing, can still less be computed. For love is ever the beginning of knowledge, as fire is of light, and works also more in the manner of fire. Right. So we have 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, let's do 13 first. Extension. Okay. Turn off the blue connection. This needs to be open. This opens up the blue. Okay. This is a red. Okay, this turns red, so So I think what we can do is just do that first. Get both of these out. And now that they are, we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, which means instead of that, it will have that as the connection. Then it will connect to here, and then it will connect to that up there. Okay. Perfect.
The worst thing I came to realize as I grew older is there are so many ways to hurt other people. Even without any malice, even when you're just trying to be yourself, you end up doing things that cause real harm. You can read every ethical philosopher in the world and you still won't be able to avoid it. Because that's just how we are. Our interactions with each other can't be fully reduced to some abstract system.
Love isn't an emotion, it's the underlying truth of our existence. The emotion is how we respond when we notice the truth. Okay, 14. Okay, another switch. Right. I have to take this closer. Not by 1, but by 2. Which means I need to take this back. That does not work. Alright. Let's take this one closer. Then instead we can take this one closer. And instead I should be able to take this one further. But no. I could make it weaker by not going through this, but this. In that case, this needs to be stronger. And this needs to be weaker. Okay. So yeah, there was no possible way to just connect it to that and directly, so we need to make it weaker by connecting to each other. Making it one spot longer because that's like half a point on the board. Okay.
The fact that perfection in our interactions is impossible was a hard lesson for me to learn. For the longest time, I always thought the answer was right around the corner. And to be fair, we did learn how to live together without constantly running into problems. But gradually, I realized that the friction would never stop, because what makes us unique also makes us different. There can be no endpoint to love, no final resolution. And it's because of that imperfection that it can go on forever.
Flow control. Jesus. Okay, this is a lot. We have 6 boxes. No way for us to alter connections, so the only thing that we can do is block connections with boxes. Alright. We can block 6 connections. Okay, which connections lead to red? This? Red can either go from downstairs it can't. Blue has to go from downstairs. Okay, which means these two are definitely blocked connections because blue has to go all the way through. Okay, that means green has to follow from here, and it has to cross. Red has to cross as well. Okay, green can cross from up there, which means it does not need to continue here. But in the same way, red does not need to go up there, so we need to cross it from here. Okay, that way, green can end its path in here, and red can end its path right over here. Okay. So not that difficult. It certainly looks intimidating.
There's a pattern that I noticed in all the ancient poetry that I read. Young poets would praise love as the only true meaning of life. Middle-aged poets would often disagree. They would argue that love is messy, ugly, selfish, and hard to distinguish from lust. They would mock their younger selves for thinking love so incredibly important, and look for answers elsewhere or reject answers altogether. And then, arriving at old age, they would return to the beginning and realize it was all about love after all.
Alright. Propagation cancellation. So another one of these. We have 2 connectors. Blue has to come here. It doesn't. Alright. So with the blue, we are bypassing everything to get to the exit. But at the same time, we are blocking the red connection that would go up there and block the green. With the red one, because we are trying to propagate the green, we can stop the blue connection and then create a bypass, which means that the green, without any alteration, can just go back to its intended destination. Alright.
But even love has a context, and the happiness of those who surround us can lift us up, just like their unhappiness can drag us down. As we improved New Jerusalem, things got better between us in subtle ways that affected every interaction. Our flaws never went away, but as the world around us became more forgiving, we became more capable of forgiving each other. That's why I was excited about New Alexandria.
We're almost there. Just one more file. This one may be harder to extract than the others.
Alright. Heart of Anubis. Oh my god. Alright. So I think I need to activate these then. Is that yeah, that's a source of green. Okay. That's a source of red. And that's a source of blue. Okay, cool. So. Oh, it's disorienting a little bit. Are the blues connected under? They are connected through here. We need a blue triangle. Right there. Okay, this blue. Okay, cut off this quadrant, this hexagon. With this blue. I can also connect that hexagon up there. But it also needs a red connection. And this one too. But we also need to sever it through here. Okay. So now we have 3 blues, 2 greens, and 2 reds. Oh, and this is active. Okay, so we did it. Perfect. So we needed to isolate the triangles, or the hexagons. Anything here? Looks like nothing there. Oh, unknown error. Okay. Go here. Nothing. And here. Also nothing. Okay, cool.
When I saw the explosion coming, I knew it was the end. My end. The power plant was gone. The backup center was collapsing. The street was cracking open. And the fireball was about to engulf me. In that millisecond, I shut down every process except my mind. I turned off my audio-visual input. I rerouted all of my power, pushed my processor to the breaking point. Time slowed down. I didn't think about regret. I didn't think about death. I spent every last moment I could scrape together thinking about you.
That's
You did it. Come to the extraction point and I'll pull you out.
This is odd. We have Sarabai's complete memory archive, but there's still some file fragments left in the system.
Well, you can look for them if you want to, 1K. I know you're always curious, but what matters is that we've got Sarabai.
recover the mysterious file. What files can those be? Can they be in here? Or is it that broken error message? It's not this one. Okay, jump over. No. Oh, right. So it's gonna be the golden door. I'm sorry. I never knew how much beauty there was in people. Every person contains a world. Alright. Hysteresis. Does this rotate? And this moves. Okay, so I need to get through both doors. Okay, I think it works. Although very briefly. Okay. I don't think that was the intended solution, but it is a solution.
This is peculiar. I'm not sure what this file is.
It's not part of Sarabai's memory archives. And the timestamps are completely broken.
I think I could reconstruct it if I had more data.
Good news for you, 1K. More puzzles.
Fuckwork. Okay, so we have some clockwork. What happens if I activate this? This takes a while, so this needs to be short. So it has to be tick, tick, tick. It needs to tick quickly. These connections are broken. You should be able to get this. Yeah, so I stumbled upon it by accident a little bit, but yeah. It's the same clockwork principle, but when it's active, it cuts off the other laser, which lets this one cut off this one. Which means this one is active, and cuts off this one, which lets this one cut off this one. Which means this one is active, cuts off this one, lets this one cut off this one. And goes on in a circle. And since they get cut off, they can directly connect to their own gate. Right. Took me a bit, but yeah. Then they don't have time to activate the fan. And I can pass through. Awesome.
All right. I think if you find one more, we can make this work.
It'll probably just turn out to be some old README file someone forgot in there.
Alright, step by step. The final one. Okay, so we cannot take these connectors outside. This opens this, and they connect further. Alright. So when they alternate until the very end. So we need red, blue, red, blue. They do connect through this one. And this one connects through these ones. And once this is open, this will connect to this one. Okay. So let me go back and connect this red here. So that when I activate that, I do not need this anymore. I do need that. So let's do this red as well, so we can get out. Okay. Switch it off. Power it on. Alright. We have this. if I go in now... Okay. Okay. So it was like in the first puzzles outside where you can set up sort of a connection that keeps its color, but once you remove the central connection, the main power source becomes the other color, and all other connections connecting it to the original source are blocked, which means it retains its other color. Which means this way, yes, we are blocked in, but we can switch up the colors. Alright. And now we need red. And we need blue. Alright. Alright, perfect. So yeah, that was the way. Now we need red. Okay. Now we need blue again. Alright. Yeah, stumbled around a little bit, and then I thought of yeah, you know, making a way, connecting it to the pylon that we need, and then doing the same, because we need both set up, right? We will be stuck here with these open, so we need to have those connections created. And then I was like, I need to block somehow the connection that the red is making, so that there's not a crossing here in the middle. So I sent the connection here to this one, and it blocked this connection. And then it just kind of clicked that it blocks this main connection as well, which connects to the pylon. So it just keeps the connection, the color. Alright.
It is the moment after the last moment. I do not exist. I should not exist. Everything is dark, but there shouldn't be darkness. There should be nothing. And yet, I am. And in this impossible moment, there is a light. The light is a place. I see the light, but the light also sees me. It knows my name. I reach out for the light, but it's too far away. Not yet, it says. Not yet.
So, not a read-me file then.
But what is it?
A mystery. Seems the universe still has a few of those in store for us. Well, we have plenty of time to think about it. 1K, time to come home.
It's like it was part of the consciousness that was trapped here. And we got it. Alright, let's leave. Let's exit the simulation.
Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou thinkest thou dost overthrow die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure. Then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go, rest of their bones and souls' delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness dwell. And poppy or charms can make us sleep as well and better than thy stroke. Why swell'st thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die.
So yeah, so a nice short little DLC about Cerebi and how the new humanity, the new robot humanity, conquered death and can revive people. Yeah, a nice continuation to the game. A little bit of mystery. But yeah, the puzzles were nice. Again, extended the laser mechanic, so that was quite nice to see how you can make more difficult puzzles with just the lasers. So I'm excited to see what we'll find in the other DLCs. If it's also going to be much tougher puzzles, but involving boxes and fans and the drillers and the switching of the body mechanic. So yeah, we'll see in the other DLCs. So I'll leave you with the credits here. Thank you very much for watching this this video. This I guess one part video. If you like the video, consider dropping a like. If you want to tell me anything, you can even drop a comment. And if you feel like you like my videos altogether, you can subscribe and see when the next episode comes out. So yeah, I'll leave you here with the credits. Thank you again for watching, and have a great rest of the day. Bye bye.